Hello, everyone, and welcome back to ILIAD Esports, where we look to face off against the best that FaceIt has to offer. Season 6 here, Masters Division. It's going to be ILIAD ARTEMIS stepping up to the Boop Troop. As always, I'm your hostess with the mostest, D-Lo, here to cast the madness. Our almighty eyes in the sky, Hippie, as well as our friend Orange, keeping the prod lights on and the cam steady. You watching at home. Hope you're all looking forward to quite the good series we have here before us. Once again, Boop Troop step up to ILIAD ARTEMIS. Of course, that Masters Division, peerless play that you come to expect here from all our friends at ILIAD Esports. And also another match coming at you tomorrow as well. So the schedule is laden full of amazing series, and both the past, present, and future. If you look back at that past, in fact, ILIAD Helios, their little brother down under, just took down Dill Donkey in a nice 3-1 banger. Artemis, last time we got to see them grace the stream, unfortunately did not have their best day up against Daystar, one of the top qualifying teams there in that top 4 now for FaceIt Masters. They went down in a clean sweep. Now they step up to face the Boop Troop, and after that Friday, Shikigami, make sure to check back on the stream, same time, same Twitch channel for that match as well. I'll be right there to cast the action alongside you. But hopefully this can be a good little turning point, a pivot, the heel to turn on for ILIAD ARTEMIS to get right back into the thick of things after taking a bit of a hard beating there from Daystar. And now, again, if you look at the rosters, you look at the seedings there, you say to yourself, well, hopefully they recognize that Daystar were a tough opponent, and they certainly gave it their best. That 0-3 oftentimes flattens it, erases the work that really went into it. By no means was it completely helpless to face up against that team. They certainly showed some great moments, and hopefully we can see them once again. We certainly got a great roster to play with, so we can take a look at those members there that'll be up against the Boop Troop, and we'll get to see who's going to be all in the flurry and fight. Duck on Quack, as per usual, on your deeps alongside Payne Correa. Maverick going to be trying to keep steady, get the MiGs off their back, and then you have Industrial and Mardox in that back line supporting their squad as they can. Other side of the field, some names you might be a bit less familiar with, but still are intimidating. Certainly a worthy foe for ILIAD ARTEMIS to hunt down, worthy prey for the goddess of the hunt herself. We'll be getting a look at what Boop Troop has got to offer in just a moment to see if they've got the scoop on what can compute a nice victory. We'll find out. Vex, as well as Jeremy, alongside my friend Mari, Regime, and Salmon, bring up the lines. And, you know, I always say this, there is something to be told about the vibe that a team's gamer tag has. And here what I'm seeing from the Boop Troop, despite the name, it feels like it's pretty by the book. Straight-laced. Straight arrows. Regime, Mari, Salmon, these are just names. 2 syllables at most. Jeremy is the only one getting a bit crazy with it. Got some numbers there too, 87. You're insane, Jeremy. That's really old. You gotta retire. Nonetheless, Boop Troop certainly have got some good cachet behind the names, and I'm sure they'll put up a good fight. And where's that fight going to be? Why would you expect any different? It's Ilios. Why even ask me the question? Hippie, why do we even have this screen? This is just the Ilios screen on the first map, but nonetheless, it's going to be a first to 3 maps as per usual in the regular season. And Ilios is the very familiar fighting ground that we'll be taking the venue to for the first. What's that mean? It means bans. Bans can oftentimes target that DPS. I feel like the Tracer oftentimes goes here early. Sometimes you'll maybe see a sneaky backline snipe at support, but no, it's actually going to be the DPS, not the one that I was expecting. Freya, who oftentimes is still picked on this map, can operate very well around Well, as well as Lighthouse. Uses that high ground very far to her advantage. And I know that Duck likes to play that Freya quite a bit, so you don't really want to see them operate on it. Makes complete sense. Artemis for the counter. If you decide to ban away. Could be the Hazard, but Maverick likes the Hazard quite a bit, so I wouldn't actually expect that. A dive tank, though. Maybe a Winston. Side you only can have one dive character, and Maverick does a pretty good job of punishing those who try to play the Hazard Ditto against him. A lot of options. And not one that's correct on paper. At this point, it's more of a judgment call, you know? First map is always the pace setter. What's the vibe, what we're trying to go for? We'll hopefully find out soon. Could target the back line, but Mardox does particularly favor that Kiriko. So I wouldn't expect to see that targeted away. Their name is the Boop Troop after all, so maybe you go for the Lucio, but that holds its own risks as well. What if Boop Troop's a misnomer? Maybe it's all a red herring. Trying to bait you into the Lucio ban. Ha! Played right into our hands. Artemis are taking their time. Makes sense. Again, they've come off, despite it being a week ago. That loss can still sometimes stick in the back of your mind. It's a bit of a sore point. You want to make sure that you enter here with a fresh attitude and off the heels of a solid mindset when going into these tactical bans. We'll be finding out shortly. Oftentimes, Artemis like to play this map quite aggressively. When it came to their loss up against Day, obviously there's just a level of technical skill that players of that caliber have that are hard to compete with. But also I feel like sometimes the cohesion, the layering of ultimates, was a bit off. So hopefully we see a comp, and we see some play that allows for us to shake that off. The Artemis is going to actually ban that Mercy away. Say, I'm sorry that you bought the Persona skin. Doesn't matter how cool it looks. Get it out of here. You know what I love about having orange on the cam? You can instantly see all these cam ops for XYBA are so talented when it comes to presenting a good sense of scope, the B-roll shots, right? But each camera op, whether it be head rammer or orange, they have different things I like to opt for. So orange says, why not a nice little coastal view? Don't you want to be in that cruise ship? Or would you rather be right here in the field of battle? Probably the former. I'd rather have all-you-can-eat shrimp than all-you-can-eat bullets. But that's just me.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Here we go into the fray.
Capture the objective.
Interestingly enough, Artemis. No duck quite just present, maybe because the Freya ban came through. Mabutu instead. On this Echo. Different flying fancy. Can it have the same impact? Pain Correa on the Tracer did up against Vex. That's always where you want to center your attentions. Maverick on the Diva. Zarya there to match. That could be a bit of an issue. Reaper as well as the difference there for Jeremy. We'll see how they do on it. In fact, now that I recall, Jeremy, a former interviewee here on the ILIAD Artemis channel, a player that plays a lot of confidence, a lot of high vibes. Vex, low health, has to grab a pack. Doing a good job actually controlling the resources there. Vex invading enemy territory to rob Artemis of their health and also ensure they remain all tipped up. Echo's a bit low, has to fly up high. Able to stay safe, no first blood just yet. But point is still secured by Boop Troop. Echo unfortunately lands at just the wrong place, and Jeremy will reap their soul.
A dark step.
Quick reposition. X does demat Diva. Has Pulse Bomb available, won't even need it. Pain Correa gets shot down there by Mari. Hazard comes out, no surprise here. Maverick says it's not working out. We'll zig. Pharah is a switch from Pain Correa. Mabutu goes to the Tracer instead. The flexibility of Artemis. Let's see if it pays off. Always love it when you're willing to admit that a strategy is not working out. Goes for the boop on the Boop Troop and actually pushes them right into the Hazard's claws. Pain Correa finds the first kill. Maverick tears apart Mari limb from limb. Artemis have been rewarded for their flexibility. Can they make substantial gains from it? Jeremy takes one look into the dark voids of Artemis's eyes and steps into the void of the well instead. They don't even get the luxury of an SD. No, Artemis will take them out before they can even touch the bottom. Kitsune in pocket of Mardox. Or Pulse Bomb from Vex. The fact that we had those double DPS switches means those ultimates will be on for a little bit longer. Jeremy switches to far as well. Says, if you can do it, I can do it too. And better, gosh darn it. We'll see. Pulse Bomb available. Recall no longer so. Vex in trouble. Kitsune in the sound barrier is the response from both sides. Industrial keeps the team safe. Spike Shield does the same there for Maverick. Pain Correa does take down the opposing tank. Mabutu is going to be the sacrifice. A 1-for-1 so far. A good stick, but Maverick's going to stay upright for a bit longer. Not long enough, though. Regime takes them out as Industrial does the same to Jeremy. Lucio's getting their hands dirty. Special getting me a bit more dirty. Takes down Vex as well. Salmon follows it up on a Pain Correa. The supports are getting dangerous. You say, I'm tired of supporting. First degree murder sounds a lot more fun. All right, back in the action. Switches over to that hazard. What a great Suzu to shake off the pulse. But Maverick, not to be outdone, takes out Salmon. Point in favor of Artemis now. 10% up, but it's heavily contested by Boop Troop. Not enough, though. The resistance dies out as the tank falls. A rocket barrage from each team. Pain Correa just crossed the threshold. Kitsune charge for Salmon. You're swimming upstream, though. 10% left here for Artemis. Mabutu trying to find the dive kill, at the very least distract. Good recall. Keeps him safe. And the rocket barrage takes down the tank. What a great start to the fight. Pain Correa able to evade the rockets from Jeremy. Mabutu takes down Salmon. Into the well you go, Regime. Your final resting place. An unmarked tomb. It was a solid attempt, but an attempt is all it could be. Artemis take the first round. You know what that really was? Flexibility. Flow. Don't need a Wu Yang for that. Artemis making that first switch. You saw this first comp come out. It doesn't work. Instant switch. Mabutu, you take on the Tracer. Pain Correa's got it on the Pharah. And at that point, Boop Troop are playing a game of catch-up. Maverick switches to Hazard. Ori switches to Hazard. Jeremy switches to Pharah. It's about recognizing the patterns quicker than the opponent.
5, 4, 3,
Abandoning pride.
1.
And making sure to recognize when a strategy just is not going to work. When you're slamming your head against a wall, better to go around the wall. Better to be the wall. Jeremy back on the Reaper. Artemis, stay by the tried and true comp that brought them success so far. Now in the Ruins. Will it all be Ruins? The Boop Troops attempted the first map. We'll find out. Supports there had some moments of glory. Industrial in particular, you love him on the Lucio. Call this man the one-man Boop Troop. Jeremy takes down Mabutu. It's one man down. OBJ opens up. And Boop Troop opened fire, but Vex, the ribcage opened up by Maverick. This Hazard, man, is a hazard. Industrial's gonna have to agree. Mori takes them down, but Regime quickly falls. Fight's been de-Lucioed. And Maverick, by themselves, continues to just bully Jeremy. Slams him against the locker. The principal did not see that. Gonna need a parent-teacher conference. Point secured by Artemis. And 86% already in Maverick's pocket. Might get that ult faster than Mabutu on the Tracer. I'd say it's very likely, especially with the sniper's purse they've obtained. But do they decide to unleash it early? I wouldn't mind it. Mabutu takes down Vex. Don't mind that either. Downpour is ready. Good heals from the Kiriko teleport. Mardox making sure to keep their MVP safe. Maverick steps up, wants aggression. So much space being gained here by Artemis. They really are the bullies. Mori goes back to base once more. And Vex can't even do anything but blink right into a spike trap. It's like the butcher birds that stick you on the thorny barbs of branches and let their prey bleed out. Vicious work by Artemis. Downpour still ready. I'd like to see Maverick use this quicker. No sense in letting Mari get theirs up because by that time he might already have a second ult. A good leap to cut off the flank attempt. Here comes the downpour. Right after the Suzu's already released, Salmon is dead. Jeremy blown to bits. Mardox is the cost. Industrial as well. Now the fight has no supports. Artemis could be in trouble. Moore is dead. Pain Correa as well. Mabutu with a very pivotal recall. And Maverick with a more pivotal kill. Sorry, Boop Troop. You're not booping me back to base. Instead, it's a bop back to the head for Regime. That ends their Regime. 83% uncontested. A pulse bomb in pocket. And Maverick with some peerless play in this second round. Kitsune charge comes out. The downpour as well, but we got Umbrella Sucker. We're raining down the damage. Vex more in Regime. The bodies is raining cats and dogs. Jeremy and Salmon cannot take the precipitation. And Artemis bring themselves a map 1 victory.
Play of the game.
No surprise. Hey! Yeah, buddy, you. Holy. What a great job on this flank. Completely roots it. Instantly notices where the enemy is going. A violent leap there to ensure they cut off the path. And completely decimates them by ensuring the Suzu was down before the downpour came down. Destructive work. Impressive as well. Already we can say ILIAD certainly are not letting that last week's defeat hold them down. Nah, they're soaring. No Freya necessary. And that is, again, impressive. Because momentum matters. Absolutely it matters. The availability heuristic, right? The most recent thing in your mind is what's going to stand out. So if you go out last week feeling sorry, you might come in feeling the same way. But no, Artemis, they have been around the block. Season 6 of Masters, baby. This team has seen too much to just go down that easy. Next map's going to be coming at you here in just a second. And the Boop Troop for their money. And that first round certainly showed some zeal. Second time around, they just ceded so much space to Maverick. There was just no way they could counter. And again, I say, Maverick loves the Hazard Ditto. I don't think you can play into the Hazard Ditto. But what else do you do? I don't know. I don't think the Diva was the worst of options. The Zarya neither. We didn't get to see the Zarya really pair off against that Hazard much, did we? I'm curious to see how it would have done. A bubble in those moments can be very crucial. And I think if you try to play them on the same character, if you're playing on their court, they're going to beat you by their rules. Next map, though, coming up is, I believe, going to be Watchpoint Gibraltar. So a bit more movement, a bit more mobility. Less stagnant, less static. And I've got to tell you, if I'm looking into my crystal ball here for what the bans are going to be, that Hazard might just be one of them. Would not surprise me one bit, especially considering the fact that a Hazard could do quite well here alongside a Winston. Might try to force Artemis onto something a bit less comforting. But we'll see shortly. And I think it's also really important here who ends up taking offense first. I think if you get shut out that hard in that last round, and you also get shut out at spawn on offense for a payload map, it feels terrible. It can really start to send you into a dizzying decline of the mental. For the sake of good competition, I don't want to see that. Boop Troop say we don't want to see the Hazard. They agree with me. After Maverick's performance, I do not blame them. But that's already great. You're forcing fear into your opponents. Round 1, you are controlling the pace of the game. Now the question is, Maverick, what do you do from here? Probably play the Winston. I'd imagine if you want to keep that same playstyle going. What do you want to ban away? Jeremy does like that Reaper. But a Reaper here on this map, not quite as ideal. Do you hate the snipers enough that you want to ban away the Widow? I'm curious if Duck returns, now that Freya is back on the money. A lot of possibilities here. But Artemis, once again, taking their time. They know this is a marathon, not a sprint. Have to get to the end. Sometimes requires some methodical thinking. They do indeed decide to ban away the Brigida, sticking by the support methodology. Whereas you can tell the Boop Troop are really focused on the offensive side. An interesting difference in philosophy. Let's see how it shakes up. Once again, folks. Season 6, FaceIt, Masters Division. ILIAD Artemis now bear an even record, trying to get back on the positive side of things. Boop Troop trying to avoid the scoop. And Watchpoint Gibraltar is going to be the place to do it. Here we can see Hippie's personal computer setup. Very complex. That's XYB, a Productions level complex, baby. And there you can see Orange's observation deck. Lots of monitors, Orange. Respect. How did they absorb all that info? That's that top of the line production value right there. Please make sure to thank our camera up as well as our production. Thank you as well for watching. We still got plenty more to go into.
5,
Boop Troop, ILIAD Artemis.
3,
Offense first for Boop Troop.
attackers incoming.
Let's see what they can do with it. Out the gates, it's already going to be that dive duo of the tanks, but it's a Winston up against a Diva. Not the best if you're Maverick, given their liabilities and not absorb much with that defense matrix. Might not need to absorb much, though, if you can just dodge. Be where the monkey's not. Mobutu now on the Cole Cassidy, and Jeremy rocking this Freya. Duck has not made a return. Still Pancray and Mobutu together. Mori trying to make sure this Diva falls apart. Mobutu's the first one to fall at Jeremy's hands. Vex takes down their double. The DPS do good work for Boop Troop. Already, with the staggered death timer of Industrial and Mardox, no way that Artemis are able to hold the underhang. That feels rough. That's a really good choke normally. And Artemis ceded that territory very, very easily. Jeremy finding that pick was the domino needed. And now they're continuing to elicit more pressure. Second point, or rather first point, 5 meters away. And nothing has stopped Boop Troop yet. Here comes the touch. Good TP to the side of Jeremy. And Mardox and Pancray do the fusion dance to find 2. Mobutu puts a commemorative performance up for Jeremy. Rocking the Reaper now. Maverick attempts to dive, but Kitty Go thinks better of it. Salmon are resistant fish. You do not want to step up unless you know what you can commit to it. Tsune charge for Mardox in the first ultimate on deck, and Salmon's going to follow it up rather soon. Speaking of, Mardox drops it. Forces Jeremy to retreat a little bit. Who is deep in enemy territory. Cut off from the rest might be a tough case, but a Kitsune charge could get them back to safety. Still 3 meters away from point. Artemis has done a great job holding them. A recall forced out from Boop Troop. Jeremy's dead. Pancray as well. Sound Barrier and a Diva Bomb. Maverick finds the kill on Salmon because of it. No Suzu available. No life. Mobutu in the back line. Pops out the baby Diva. Leaves her be for her big sister to discipline. 0.19 away though. Boop Troop did actually make solid ground. Got to make sure not to C9 this. Minute 30 left. A good recall from Vex. Not good enough. Mardox finishes the job. That cost Boop Troop nearly everything. Only the Bola available that Jeremy's been having since day one. Got to make sure you're not holding on to those. A good target could be Mardox. Or the Reaper once you know their safety tools are used. Pancray a bit too mobile. Industrial potentially as well. Maverick, of course, too tanky. Bola, launched down. Does not find the damage you needed, but Vex can finish the job. Mardox is dead. A Death Blossom comes out there from Mobutu. Does take down Regime. But the Jump Jets and Bottle Rockets shortly follow. I'm sure Mobutu will fall too. Maverick's dead. Pancray as well. More on the Diva. Making more destruction happen, and finally can potentially bring you that point. A Suzu to stall out. The Jump Jet's on in, and the beatdown on top of Mardox. Will their death be in vain? The Symmetra tries to ensure that some last vestige of resistance can be made. A Diva Bomb comes out there from Mori. Really trying to ensure the point's there as Maverick gets plastered beneath the baby mech coming right back. Point secured there by Boop Troop. And hey, that feels good. After the hammering you took on map 1, small victories, everything counts. But it was a staunch resistance put up there by ILIAD Artemis at the last meter. That was pretty impressive. Can they replicate that, though, without the chips being so far down? Vex has got a pulse, and Salmon drops the Kitsune. Mori's trying to find the right target. In this case, it's going to be Mardox, who's been having a hard time staying alive. Pancray could say the same thing. At this point, we're just filtering just a little bit too much. Maverick in trouble, left behind. As Mobutu and Industrial are taken down. Leave the baby Diva for last. That's just peerless team kill play. Boop Troop operating as one mind. One body, one team. Implied by the name, right? They are a troop. They are a squadron. And they operate with lethal effectiveness. They just targeted the exact right people in that moment. Kitsune rush from Mardox. Heel's got to find the right targets. And they go for Mardox once again. This time, the Mobutu has switched to the Genji. Takes down Vex before they can do any more damage to the support. Drop down defense matrix from Mori. Tries to ensure the same safety there for their back line. Will it work out? No switches yet from Booptrue. Fight the face of the Genji, looming before them. Sound barrier available and sound barrier used. That's the call for battle. Aggressive, knowing that not many ultimates lie in wait for Artemis. Mardox once again the first to go down. A sound barrier is a counter, but your support brother in arms is already dead. Jeremy is now too. Salmon is the next one to go, gobbled up by Pain Correa. The jump jets take down Industrial. And Vex has got a pulse bomb in just a moment. Too late for Regime, they're dead too. Mardox will fall in trade. And Pain Correa, it's all you can eat on top of this diva. Leaves the baby to jump out of the cradle and into the river. Maverick finishes off Vex. Another great defense from Artemis. I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised that Maverick didn't kind of get flustered and use the bomb. That's that careful play. Conservation necessary, 30 seconds especially. Two big bombs, mutually assured destruction. Pain Correa locks eyes with Maverick across the coast. A grim sense of duty right upon their face. We cannot let them advance any further. Regime certainly won't. Their path ends here. Great damage there from Mobutu. What a great time to deflect. The Dragon Blade on in, right on top of the Kitsune charge, forces out Suzu, forces Salmon into the grave. We're making sashimi, baby. Pulse Bomb finds no one, and Tracer finds her way back to base. Regime booped right back as well, and the Diva will not be able to grow up much longer. That baby is going to be put down in the crib. Jeremy plastered, and can't end it any faster. ILIAD Artemis. A stellar defense once again.
0-1.
Near that second point. They had a really solid start from Booptrue. They advanced right past that overhang without missing a breath, without missing a beat. ILIAD Artemis, again, they flowed. Mobutu realizes this is not working on the Cole. It's not working on the Reaper. Genji. They are not afraid to try new things, but it's not out of panic. It's science. It's experimentalism. Healthy experimentalism. And it pays dividends. Let's see if it pays just as well on offense. We'll find out shortly. And in this situation, man, your Booptrue, you're wringing your hands a little bit. You did not get as far as you wanted to. Looking at the scoreboard there, Mobutu, 16 elims. Mavericks had to slow down a little bit since being off the hazard, but man, if you win on this map without your hazard, without your diamond pick, you are feeling like aces.
4, 3, 2.
Jeremy on the pick that we got to see them for on the roster sheet at Venture. Venture's out from base. Tactical deflect there from Mobutu to start things off. Nearly puts them in harm's way as well. Corralled in the corner, Booptrue might need to decide if they want to hold their ground in that hall, or if they want to try to loop around, because the Diva is starting to make some strides. The Tracer's starting to move down beneath the point. Jeremy drops down to force that Tracer back. No C9 here today. Mobutu instead, first one to go, courtesy of a coup from Regime. The dive on down, the defense matrix from the opposing Diva can't save you from Mori's Diva, so Pain Correa will die. ILIAD Artemis herded right back into base, nearly taken out by Vex inside of spawn. That would be demoralizing. So far, so good for Booptrue. This is exactly what ILIAD Artemis were not capable of at the start of the last round. Mobutu, back to the Echo, flowing. Sailing gracefully through the sky. And when you think about it, who's really there to stop the Echo when she's in the sky? Certainly not the Venture. Diva's going to be the prime responsible one. And they're trying to take her down first. Tracer in trouble, forced to recall. Maverick seems to recognize the importance of the Diva. Changes their attentions quickly to Kiriko. And the D-Mech, secured by Mobutu. Countered, though, on a Maverick. Maverick wins the Baby Diva battle. Vex, though, is going to make sure that their infantile brother is avenged. Jeremy uses Dig and flees from battle. On the corner, though. Jeremy's still battling. As Suzu support, as Vex as well. Taking down Mobutu both as well as Industrial. That does not feel good. 2 minutes left. Artemis still got ground to go. Pulse Bomb in pocket alongside Kitsune for each side. Industrial does have Sound Barrier too. And a Diva Bomb about to be online for Mari. Is online, in fact. Pulse Bomb, great stick. Industrial's done. Pain Kure says, I don't need an ultimate to kill you, sucker. Drops him with a quick bop to the back of the head. Mobutu falls well the same way. Maverick's trying to replicate that action, but that Hazard Ditto not looking quite as good on the Diva. Pain Kure does take down Salmon. Mari trapped in a corner. Sees enemies all around. A good stick. Can't get the kill quite just yet, except on the mech. Jeremy will fall as well. And finally, we can move past that underhang. The Baby Diva dies, and Vex is able to continuously suss out this Echo. The moment Mobutu's sleek feet touch the ground, Vex is there waiting for you. You've got to be careful. Yeah, let's take a look at that stick again. On the wall, Industrial is riding. Vex, Hail Mary shot. It's a QB kind of throw right there. That was beautiful. Dupe ready for Mobutu. 2 meters separate Artemis from the point, and certain defeat. Tracer is the dupe call. Regime goes down, and the mech will fall as well. Mobutu looking pretty slick there on the Tracer. Gets the stick off. Not even necessary, though, since the rest of the team already finished the job. It's a 3-piece for the dupe Tracer. Favorite Pokemon here is Ditto. Chases down the Tracer once more, says there can only be one, or two, I suppose. You include their team. Vex will fall. Point secured by Artemis. Hefty amount of time now left in the bank. Mardox, unfortunately, sent back to the tomb. A Diva Bomb about to be ready. Maverick decides to cut their losses and retreat. A wise move. Pulse Bomb on top. No, eaten up by the defense matrix. Pain Kure got a bit too excited seeing Jeremy's backside. That could use a nice little sticky bomb on it, couldn't it? Yeah, even knows. She sees you when you're pulsing. She sees you when you're weak. Mardox is going to go to sleep first. Salmon takes them down. Vex is the healthy trade. Dig down to safety. Suzu did actually not find Jeremy, so they are still rocking a bit low health. It could be the target next. I'm curious to see if Mardox continues to be the target in these upcoming fights from Boop Troop. Whereas Artemis, I don't feel like we got a cohesive target. Who are they looking for first? This Echo might be the one who really determines it. Or, of course, Pain Kure. Pain Kure's been a bit quiet lately. Eva Bomb ready. 4 ultimates in pocket for Boop Troop. Not even necessary, though. Tectonic Shift is what's going to be coming out from Jeremy. But it's Vex and Mari who are getting the kills. Both supports are down. Vex is out of it. Pain Kure gets the consolation prize. Maybe going for the gold. Doesn't have ultimate, though, yet. They're not feeling safe enough to do that. Jeremy on this bench has been pretty impactful. Able to stay alive a lot longer than on any other pick. The Kitsune is going to guide you right back to the spawn screen. Mobutu lasers Salmon down. A bomb from Mori finds not many results, but sticky bombs instead are the result. The Diva dupe as well. Instantly takes down their opposition thanks to a well-timed pulse. Revenge from Pain Kure. You ate the last one. Hope you're hungry for seconds. A bit too much for Mori to stomach. Regime says the same. Mobutu drops down the bomb. Just some extra added fireworks. And they cut Vex off from the rest of the team. But now Pain Kure's got to be careful. Health pack picked up. Vex is going to take some time to get back into base. Kiriko makes a quick TP right back. Pain Kure in trouble. But they have the support Ready to back them up. Ori steps up, drops down. Point nearly secured by Artemis. All that time holding Vex back allowed Artemis to make careful strides forward. Pulse bomb applied, and the mech will go down. Mardox falls alongside them, but it's overtime right now for Artemis. They have no chance except to move forward. One they will not get. Industrial will fall, and with mere meters separating them from victory, Boop Troop will actually take it. Nice work. Maybe a bit too much invested into taking down Vex in that moment. 2 members there. And that Mardox was not there to assist the Diva in a time of need. So I like the idea. You have to have faith in Pain Correa to win the Ditto. They did not. Stalemate meant a loss. And now Boop Troop have tied it up. 1-1 reads the scoreboard. However, it came at a hefty cost, banning the Hazard this early into the series. What does that mean for the future of Boop Troop? I don't know. What does it mean for Maverick? Well, I'm sure we'll see soon. Porcupine, the Echidna, will be out relatively soon, I'm sure. I do want to throw some credit to Mobutu. On this Echo, played it quite well. We didn't really get to see it show its colors in map 1 since they switched off so quickly, recognizing it just was not the move. I do think Pain Correa had a bit of a quieter round, though. That unfortunate pulse we saw gets sunk into the Diva defense matrix. I also think we just saw less picks. A lot of that pressure is being established by Mobutu instead. Maybe some new Junk City. Concrete jungle where dreams are made of, you know? Is it concrete? It's like rusty steel. Hopefully I got the tetanus shots. Nonetheless, medicated or not, someone's got to die and someone's got to get banned. Zarya is the pick from Artemis. And the Boop Troop wipe away the Kiriko, knowing just how much Mardox liked to play it. Knowing just how annoying that character is to kill. We'll see if it pays off as we head off to map 3. Again, worth noting, not a best of 3, but a first 2-3. And again, we get to see, I love just seeing what each production peep likes to value looking at. My friend Orange, tires. Oh, there's the view. Okay, never mind. All right, you're valid. You're valid, Orange. We knew Orange was valid, but now they're really valid. What is that on that balloon? Look at all the people that came here to watch this game and their junkin cities, their junkin balloons, and their junkin houses. And you, hopefully on your non-junkin PC or phone, watching the fun. A Mauga from Maverick. You can see why the Zarya was banned instantly. You don't want the bubbles to absorb all that lead. Junker Queen. Thematically consistent and appropriate pick. Does that mean it's right for battle? What a great knife. The axe as well. Cardiac Overdrive, though, keeps Maverick safe for a bit longer. Jeremy cannot say the same. Pain Correa is the trade. It's a flurry of shots and bullets. The Moira trying to keep everyone alive, but Salmon will fall nonetheless. Vex lays a hex down on Maverick and a beat down on Industrial. Mori falls in trade. But overall, the fight going the way of Boop Troop, all because of Vex. A 3-piece now looking for 4. Chasing down the Ditto. But instead finds backup in the way of the Lucio. An errant pulse bomb costs them way too much. Mobutu takes them out. Boop Troop do, though, secure the point, albeit at a hefty cost, and Mobutu now begins their rampage. Jeremy only finds 1 before Industrial sends him to an early grave, and Artemis takes back the point before it even reached 20. Great Cardiac Overdrive forces Junker Queen off that Tracer. And now she's in trouble. Corral into the corner. The Pulse Bomb doesn't need to stick to still get the Blick. Large amount of time will be bought from that, and Artemis do take the lead. Jeremy. A lot of good soil to bury into, but unfortunately, they're going down 6 feet under each time. Pain Cray and the Reaper takes him out. Here's where you ask the question. Do you need to zig? Do you need to zag? Does something need to change? ¿Qué onda? Ellos preguntaron. Muy mal, si eres Vex. Mobutu is killing everyone right now. Double DPS. Felled at the hands of the Errant Tracer. And the Coalesce brings cohesion. Mobutu with the 3-piece. Hunts down more. I'm hungry. Feed me. Feed me, Seymour. Boop Troop will not oblige this. Say, go the hell back home. You are scary. First flashpoint goes down to Artemis. That does not mean that Artemis are going to let this next fight go down easily. All these ultimates, the next point hasn't even opened up. We're just establishing dominance. It's a Coalesce, it's a Rampage. It's Regime taking down Mardox to start. The cage doesn't find much, but Mobutu takes down Jeremy nonetheless. This player's got a passive buff. They're on a heater. Regime takes down their opposition, and Salmon manages to bop down Maverick. A Death Blossom only finds the trade for one. Before Mori puts it down early. Vex sees a chance to finally find Pankare, or rather Mobutu, and gives him the beat down. Back in action there. Cardiac Overdrive instantly brings cardiac arrest to Mori. And Jeremy's heart stops too. Industrial is the cost. Regime's been winning out these trades more often than not. But Mobutu says back to your regularly scheduled programming. Time for death. Their aim has just been peerless. So many of these shots are finding bodies and heads. Every vital point not safe from these pulse fire pistols. A pulse pistol, as well as the pulse bomb, makes for a happy recipe if you're a fan of Artemis. Vex goes down once more. Pankare this time responsible. Now that filter starting to affect Boop Troop's resolve. Their percentage has been lapped by Artemis. They're at 40. A pulse bomb in pocket for each. But how each one uses it could decide the rhythm and moves of the next fight. Who do you want to try to take down? Well, it's tough. Jeremy's now on this Reaper. You want to make sure you listen to the Wraith form first. Mobutu, the drop-off recall before retreating back to point. Coalesce there from Mardox, keeps them all safe. And the sound barrier from Regime does the same thing. Junker Queen tries to go for the axe, a big swing and a mix. Strike one, but Maverick's the one who's out. Good shots there onto the Reaper. The Rampage lines them all up and strikes them all down. OT secured, but Mobutu can only find a piece of fish for dinner before they must excuse themselves from the table. 40-99 for Boop Troop. It's an uphill battle for sure. But Salmon's almost got that Coalesce. Industrial's got sound barrier though. That comes quickly enough and you take down Salmon first. Doom and gloom for Boop Troop. Speed down to point. Not focused on the fight unless it's necessary. Industrial says it absolutely is. Salmon coalesces as well. Mobutu's trying to take them down first. Not successful just yet. Maverick drops the cage. Pulse Bomb finds great damage but does not kill anyone. Regime once again boops Industrial back to high heaven. Pankare wins their deadly duo. Vex drops Mardox, but Mobutu finds Pulse on Mori. That might be the more impactful kill. Trying to finish off the Moira. That's a harder story. The shots are on point. The melees don't need to be. Mobutu is on fire. Secured by Artemis. A second flashpoint goes their way.
Next flashpoint.
Do we see another insane fight before the point even opens up? Given their passive collision, I'd be inclined to say the answer is yes. Artemis, though, corralled in the corner. Pankare dashes behind, finds the Death Blossom. No one's paying attention to the spin to win Reaper. Oh no, Jeremy tried to put on a similar performance, but no one asked for an encore. Instead, we asked for a team kill from Artemis. That is tragic. Pain Correa shadow steps right behind the enemy team. Boop Troop just did not see that one coming. And even when they did, blinded by the Hellfire shotguns. Jeremy says, that looks fun. I'll do it too. This is for trained professionals only. Vex in trouble. Recall. Sound barrier from Regime. Doesn't find Vex though. He's in their own 1v1. The Rampage affects the Mauga as well as Industrial both. And that bleed is gonna leave them dry. Mori will fall, but both tanks have been spanked. Jeremy is the cost. Pain Correa pulse bomb back. Mobutu trades for Salmon. Mardox is dead. It's a rain of corpses. And there's no trace left of the Tracer. Vex takes them out too with some help from the Lucio. Artemis got 66% up. But now Boop Troop can begin to claim their stake on the point. Is this the beginning of a turnaround? They need this one and many more to declare this third map theirs. Match point on the line. Nothing more, nothing less. Salmon has coalesced. The cage is dropped. That's the goal. Try to keep them healed up. You cannot save Jeremy nonetheless. Just pretty lights in the background instead. Mori will fall too. Regime and Vex. Moira pulled the trigger way too early. And they're going to be skinned alive for it. Another team kill for Artemis. Maverick doing now what they do best. Establishing space, establishing dominance. Mobutu wants the 1v1s. Has the pulse bomb, but maybe you wanted it a bit too bad. Vex takes them out. Pain Correa. Good rate for him to evade the cardiac overdrive. And the Death Blossom, not going to be quite as impactful this time around. Mori says, I've seen your bag of tricks. I'm unimpressed. Mardok's dead too. Mari will fall. But that's not going to be enough. It's not a one Malga army any longer. Shadow step back to point. Industrial back to base. Mobutu packed in a coffin alongside. Boop Troop do take it back. Albeit Artemis are at 99. One last fight left in the tank before this flashpoint's all curtains for Boop Troop. A pulse bomb in pocket versus Vex having the same and Death Blossom alongside Sound Barrier. Regime might need to be the first target. Already forced out. Death Blossom not finding much because the Coalesce from Mardox keeps them all alive. Maverick dropped down low by the pulse. Dropped down to 0 by Jeremy. Both Lucios are dead too. But Jeremy's now the one who's starting to pop off. Mobutu's dead as well. An attempt at a touch, but the touch of death reaches Mardox too. Boop Troop take their first flashpoint.
Next flashpoint, the Ducks.
Waiting around the corner. Artemis say, we'll wait a bit longer. Stay a while. Seems we might have had a small issue of DCing. So we'll just have to, hopefully, get that all fixed up. But nonetheless, an impressive resistance there put up by Boop Troop. And the difference is that Jeremy, I think, just woke up a little bit. Starting to see the kills there. There are, I think, some interesting consequences of the lack of Kiriko. Whereas I think a Moira Coalesce, a Kiriko Ultimate, the Kitsune charge, I think, can always be placed down and find utility. Whereas a Coalesce, depending on the moment, it can be very much feast or famine. And that's exactly what we saw. Pause for watch. Huge. It happens to the best of us. But nonetheless, you gotta hope that this game is decided by what's on the field, not what's on the servers. We'll see shortly. That being said, hope y'all are doing well at home. Hope y'all are enjoying the matches so far. I certainly am. Not having a clean sweep is always good, whether it be for Artemis or against Artemis. Y'all can't hear it, but I just heard a deep sigh from my production manager, Hippie, as we all wait to get back into things. But don't you worry. I'm here. Your friend Delo's here. Tell me about your day. How's it going? Oh, you had a rough one? What happened? Talk to me. I'm here for you. Pulse bombs you. Asterisk pulse bombs you. Stop talking. No one wants you to talk too much about it. All right. Don't We need a trauma dump. Just a guy. Nonetheless, it's been so far, I feel like, a pretty solid series. I think that we're starting to see the effects of when the DPS wake up. And I also think we're starting to see the effects of when comfort is not allowed to you any longer, right? Maverick, no longer allowed to play the Hazard after how well we saw that perform. Things start to take a small divot downward. Mardox has been playing nothing but that Kiriko all the day. So, what do? We force you onto something a bit less comfortable. Though I will say, I think Salmon's had similar issues with that same pick. What's really dictated everything, though, and it's always the same story, right? It's the Tracer Ditto. Who has the better hand of the seesaw? Vex? Or, in some moments, it seems like it's Mobutu. It's very hard to determine who overall has the swing of things, but I'd say given this last swing of fights, Vex is starting to be on an uptick. Overall, though, I think Mobutu's had a bit more careful, methodical plays. Can they keep that up, though? The rest of the team seems to be struggling a little bit. Maverick is not having the same impact on this Mauga that you might expect. These cages are not having the same impact you might expect. It did beat out that Coalesce last time, but you still wanted to try to get the kill, nonetheless. Maybe by turning away from the Reaper and instead focusing on the Moira, healing them up. Well, they did get that kill, actually, now I think about it. Nonetheless, Cage, you're normally expecting to see someone lock down at least 2 people, and then you just murder them. Not been quite the case just yet. Does seem like, though, we're all back in the fight in the fray. Mobutu, unfortunately, will lose their Pulse Bomb because of the DC. But if anyone can get back into things, it's got to be them. Maverick, though, gunned down to the back of the head by Mori, who's now worth noting also on this Mauga. That was violent. Maverick growls. All right, buddy, calm down. You're a human. Unleashes their inner wolfkin, howls at the moon, and drops down the cage. Coalesce as well. So much damage being unleashed, even Mobutu is still the first one to fall. Oh my god. That was violent. Boop Troop through the kitchen sink at ILIAD ARTEMIS. And they got brain hemorrhage trauma from it. A cage, a Coalesce. 7,000 pounds of lead. Ordered Amazon Prime fast. Jeremy tries to give it to him, but Vex is the one who delivers the death blow. Maverick's done, and Industrial's next. Mobutu at long range. When do they upgrade this Pixar? Pixel perfect aim here from Vex. I'm warranted to believe that this crosshair actually reflects the exact aim of that Tracer. My god, impressive. Coalesce there. Death Blossom from Pain Corray to ensure they don't fall while using it. Only trades out the Lucio's, though. That's a Walmart deal if you ask me. Mardox gets Vex. That's starting to feel a bit better. Flashpoint does not unlock for an extra 30 seconds, by the way. Artemis now tied up for Boop Troop. This one decides it all. Pain Corray guns down Salmon. Mari falls too. Ensures that Artemis will have first stake to the point. Does that mean they secure it once it opens? A different story. Pulse, sound barrier. The cage, pulse, Coalesce, and sound barrier. Boop Troop have a lot more resources. They got a lot more damage too. Industrial's the first to fall once again. And the cage keeps the Mauga locked in. The Coalesce cohesively locks in alongside it. It's another team kill there for Boop Troop. The same formula we've seen now twice. Cardiac Overdrive, kill this Lucio before the sound barrier could even hit the ground. That is painful for Industrial. And now you're going to see Regime use the exact same tool they used so bitterly tried to use against them. Pulse Bomb trades out Maverick for Jeremy, but Regime will fall. Solid pick. Sadly, Vex is on the case to equal the odds. Mori takes down the Tracer. Pain Parade doubles down on Salmon and Mori. And Vex put down by the Coalesce.
Possession of the objective.
Artemis will be able to secure back this flashpoint, but not without a heavy amount of percent invested by Boop Troop. 66, to be exact. All comes down to this. 1-1 on the maps. 2-2 on the flashes. Could we see the series go to 5? Question for another day. Jeremy asked the question of, do you have a sound barrier? And the answer is no. Pain Correa says, I like picking flowers. Here's some daisies for you. But Salmon makes sure that Pain Correa is pushing him up as well. Maverick beaten down by Vex. Boop Troop stand to win the fight so far. Mabutu's got nowhere left to run. 50% secured by Artemis. Boop Troop. Send him right back to the garbage chute. And Vex tries to elicit the 1v1. A surprise kill potentially. One that will not be found, but maybe they can stall for enough time. Salmon already took down Industrial. Here comes the Coalesce. The beam lasers him down, and Maverick's already dead. Artemis running on fumes. Jeremy running right back to base. Vex, though, equals the odds by taking him down with the pulse. The DPS are dead, and Artemis' chances of the retake might have just gone down along with him. Boop Troop, take map 3. I can tell you one thing that was the issue right there, my friends. Certainly Jeremy, yes, but the Lucio ditto. Regime, simply put, stayed alive longer. How many times was Industrial the first pick in these fights? Looking through the highlights, I'm curious to see. I feel like very frequently they were the first Lucio to fall, if not the first player to fall during an engagement. Mabutu had the hot hand, but let me tell you, Vex really made things a lot more competitive at the end. Now the Boop Troop stand at the precipice for victory. Right there, Industrial, Rampage down at the very beginning. No heals available for the rest of the team. Especially not with the chaos that Amoira's got to deal with, whereas Lucio obviously can just passively dish that out just by existing. Right there again, Industrial goes down first. Regime shortly after, but still. The fact that it's Industrial first, right there once more. Too many times, the back line was getting picked apart. Now we ask the question though. Hazards no longer available to be banned. Kiriko is no longer available to be banned. Maybe, on the next map we'll be able to have a chance to pick our favorite picks. We'll find out shortly as, once again, the font eludes me there. Hippie, help me out. What is that? Runasapi. I knew it. Dang it. All right, next time, Hippie. Next time I got you. Next time, beer's on me and Runasapi, Hippie, if I get it wrong. I got you. I'll pay for the ticket and everything. Band's coming up here. Get to see what wants to be taken off the map. Artemis, I think, have a bit of a simpler case here, simpler question. Do we want to ban the Tracer? Are we really not confident in that Ditto anymore? But no, it's the Reaper, and I think that makes a lot more sense. Jeremy has made a bit of a name for themselves on this pick. And the Ditto is not quite favoring our side. Pancrase is struggling just a little bit. Oftentimes, 1-for-1. They had that one amazing Death Blossom, but I think that was more of a bit of serendipity rather than a pattern we were able to implement. And if you can't replicate it, there's no point. Mauga is the ban from Boop Troop. Morg didn't even play that pick poorly. Truthfully, maybe they just don't like the pick. They say, I'm tired of Mauga meta. No, thank you. I'll take my one-round victory and go. Means Hazard is still available. So is Kiriko, of course. And it means we're going to map 4. Once again, ILIAD Artemis. Step up to the Boop Troop. It's match point. If you're on the Boop side. And now we're going to take a look at the scenic vistas there. That's a llama. Or an alpaca. I'm not going to lie, I have a really hard time telling the two apart. So what that is, that's a lamp. Bush, tunnels, building, hydro wheel, ship, mountain, railing, bench, tree.
Ready for battle.
Let's get into the game. Boop Troop, ILIAD Artemis, map 4, Runasapi push. It's all the classics you asked for. Well, at least one of them. Maverick. Back on the hazard. Mardox. Case of DID. Split identity. Considers the Juno versus the Kiriko. One mobile annoying support to the other. They settle for the Juno. Never mind. Now it's vintage Artemis. Pain Kure. Rocking the Genji. Mobutu sticks with the momentum on the Tracer. Vex, now on the Sojourn, though. Now, that is an interesting change. Instead, it's Consta subbed in, playing this Tracer. Mori on the Roadhog as well. Maybe trying to get easy picks on top of Mobutu, or, more importantly, paying Kure. Spike Shield won't save you. Vex can really free farm quite a bit of no-gun charge on top of that Spike Wall. And what an amazing hook on a Mardox as well. Team kill from Artemis, or rather onto it. Boop Troop just fired on all cylinders there. Wasn't even cohesive necessarily team play. Just everyone worked so well together. Already a lead being established here for Boop Troop. Next fight's going to be a big one. You can't let this lead spill out too early. I'm sure you have 9 minutes. But you don't have to wait till the pressure and the clock gets to you. Maverick says, I like this Ditto, actually. Switches the Roadhog himself and brings home the bacon. Consta. Turn right back into pork chops as well. Point secured by ILIAD Artemis. Let's see how far they can go. Well, Butu switches to the Sojourn as well. Now, here's the difference, right? Map 1, we talked about this. Boop Troop are kind of setting the momentum. Artemis are following their stead. And I wonder how this will go. We know did not favor Boop Troop last time around. Not favoring them this time on Artemis. The sheep are being put to the slaughter. Mobutu's the first one on the block. What a great shot there from Vex. Avenges Consta instantly. Follows it up with the 3-piece before Industrial finally puts them down. But it's way too late. The damage was done. Sojourn says so long. Kitsune charge for Salmon and Mardox. Dragon Blade almost up from Pain Kure, but an overclock and a pulse bomb. Double DPS ultimates from Boop Troop. Wouldn't mind to see him use them quickly. Great shot there put on to the hook right after. Establishes a lot of damage, but a good Suzu keeps their hog safe, and Mobutu gets the kill on Mari instead. Overclock. Finds the shots on Pain Kure. Now the fight's been reversed. No tank does not matter. Regime will fall. Maverick's hands. Sojourn, hot pursuit. Disruptor can't find the kill though. Maverick instead is going Olog. Not finding a whole lot of damage with it. Does buy some space and time. Point still in no man's land. It's a stick. Consta's got the recall. They're just fine. Nestro's got sound barriers, so does Regime. Kitsune starts things off though. It's from Salmon. Maverick will fall. Vex takes down Pain Kure once more. Blade was ready, but so many casualties already that's not worth fighting at this point. Everyone's just got to retreat from Artemis. They can't keep fighting this. They're filtering. There's the good kill from Industrial on the Vex. But again, I say damage is being done. Far too much. Look at this point and how far it's come. An overclock from Mobutu. We don't need kills. We're just buying inches. It's a game of yardage. No kills is just fine for Vex. They did exactly what they wanted there. Sorry, Mobutu, in fact. That was the... Never mind. Completely wrong on who that was from, and Mobutu shuts me up by taking down their opponent. Industrial takes down one. Regime will fall, and Mari. He's going to be costed for it as well. Mobutu's the only sacrificial lamb, and one they have to be happy to make. Artemis finally able to take control of the bot. A fair amount of distance they have to cover. And it's one that won't be able to do so leisurely. Marduk's the first to fall. Supports of Artemis are having a really hard time staying alive in these fights. And of course, not too much peel from a Roadhog. Once that hook is down, Loop Trooper really liable to dive and thrive. Make sure you don't survive. Maverick trying to watch their back, but how do you peel off this Tracer? You have to have faith in your back line to handle it. Or just kill yourself. Maverick does so handily. Kitsune it from Mardox. Overclock from Vex is quickly put down. But Mardox shortly after is hooked and dropped. Mobutu does find Salmon and gets a great railgun kill on Mori as well. Puts the point right back in Artemis' hands. 4 minutes left on the clock. Artemis, 20 meters to tie things up and ensure that this series can continue. Boop Troop don't want to give an inch. They stand with everything to lose. Ult almost available there from Mobutu. Pulse Bomb does not find much. Kitsune Rush comes out from Salmon. And the whole hog from Maverick, but they're awfully low. Pain Corray even lower. First one to fall on the side of Artemis. Maverick does not get that much utility. Neither does Mobutu. They're pushed completely far away.
Let's get back to basics.
They cut their losses and decide to retreat. Great ult there from Mori. Buys them space, but also ensures no kills are had by the Sojourn. Will that still be the case now? Good Suzu. A better counter Suzu, and Maverick's head will roll. What a great job by Mardox. Off the back of the hook, and now they're doing the offensive deeps too. Vex will fall at their hands. Mobutu and Mardox take the M team. You turn that M upside down. It's a big fat W. And if they keep playing like that, I'm inclined to believe that's what they'll get. Mardox though's got to be careful. Hasty Suzu, if you ask me, could use that maybe now for the Sojourn. Let those voodoo cards do enough healing to keep him out of harm's way. Kitsune Rush comes out from Mardox, but the overclock is ready in the sound barrier from Regime. And both will come out. Nothing left in the tank for Artemis so far. Just raw grit determination. That might be enough. Regime's already dead. Maverick's the cost. Dragon Blade in, but Suzu'd away. The Swift Strike will find no one. Pain Corray, your end will not be swift at this rate. They gotta climb a wall to escape. Industrial and Salmon trade lives. Vex will fall. Mobutu as well. So long, Sojourn once more. Pain Corray dives back into the fray. A hopeless affair as they're put down by the Roadhog. A dangerous game of cat and mouse. 2 minutes left. And still about 20 meters separate. Artemis have got to string together more than one successful fight. They're bleeding. Salmon, here to make sure they bleed a bit more. Consta around the back. Winks in. And begins to spray them down, but Maverick's the one who finds the first kill on Vex. Who hooks whose Sojourn first? Seems to be the game we're playing. So far, Artemis winning. But the greater fight, different story. Mori! Put next up on the chopping block, and Regime will fall as well. Salmon. Added to the body count. That's okay, though. Artemis have so much ground to cover. By the time they even reach that barricade, Boop Troop will be ready. With a pulse bomb in pocket? No, not even needed. Industrial trades out their life. The last laugh from the grave. Mori tries to send their opposing Roadhog to that exact same location. What happens when two pigs go whole hog? A whole lot of nothing.
Nearly ready to overcome.
Blood and bacon grease covers the field, but no body drops. Sojourn almost ready for Vex. Instantly popped. Tries to flank around the corner, but can't find the kill, especially with that sound barrier from Industrial. Vex instead's the one who dies. Overzealous. Punished for your hubris. Now it's Mobutu around the back. Looks for the Roadhog, but what a great sound barrier in return. No Sojourn can have fun today. Same with you, Kiriko. Get over here. Lucio joins the party in the afterlife as well. It's a team kill for Boop Troop. With 15 seconds left, Artemis have got to hold out for a miracle. The hunter has quickly turned into the hunted.
This ends now.
They will be able to touch, but it's an instant overclock from Mobutu. Does not matter if Mori gets their hooks in ya. Both DPS are dead. Industrial has been put in the meat grinder. Maverick and Mardox will ensure that if we're going down, it's swinging. Boop Troop end things with one last team kill. GG.
Play of the game.
Overall, a pretty gosh darn impressive series. Artemis just did not have the gusto to build a head full of steam and overcome. Boop Troop on their hand, I think they did a really good job of setting the pace that game. If you look back at this map one, right, we talked about this. Artemis made those first switches to the Pharah, to the Hazard. And then it was Boop Troop who tried to follow in their stead, and it didn't work out. It was an imitation game. Imitation's the best form of flattery, but can you succeed in actually not only imitating, but surpassing what you try to copy? Well, if you're Mobutu, the answer is yes. This Echo was nasty on map 2. Just not nasty enough. Without that hazard, it was quite a hazardous proposal. Looked here at this Flashpoint map, and there was an unfortunate C9 at one point. Artemis, I think, got a bit lost in the sauce. Maverick maybe played a bit too method. Got a bit too Malga brain, looking for the fights more than the OBJ. And all that would have been okay if not for some troubles, I think, with the compositions here. I think we played into, once again, the hands of the flow. Mori changes the hog. Vex does as well. Artemis follows stead, and I wonder if they were doing so because they felt pressured to, or if they really felt comfortable in those picks, because it didn't look quite like it. Mobutu had been playing that Tracer so well for so long. And yes, they did see a bit of a downturn at the end of map 3. Does that mean they need to switch? Hindsight's 20/20, of course, folks, but it's, again, are you setting your own rhythm from a deficit? Or are you following the rhythm of the enemy team that are setting it from the head? There are very different ways to change and adapt and evolve across the game. And of course, with a game like Overwatch where you're able to flick, switch to a new hero in the blink of an eye, that very much matters. Nonetheless, an impressive performance by both sides. Hopefully, ILIAD Artemis aren't feeling too sore about that loss. They certainly put up a hell of an effort. And 1-3, it's better than a 3-0 sweep. We will take it. Boop Troop on their side. Hey, well played to you. Took a hard loss in that first map. Go down uncontested on Ruins, and nonetheless still managed to fight your way back up from that bottom rung. Impressive, to say the least. And that's just what these Masters Divisions teams have to offer. Speaking of, look at the schedule up ahead. Not the only Masters Division match we still have coming at you. The schedule up in front of us. The future's still bright. Shikigami. Tomorrow. Same stream. Same time. Same caster. Same lovely 5 players that will hopefully see a different result. So make sure to stay tuned for that. But nonetheless, once again, ILIAD Artemis, they gave it their all. And at the end of the day, if you're doing that and you're having fun, that's all that matters now, isn't it? But sadly, unfortunately, with that last map and with that Boop Troop victory, that is all we're going to have for you here today on ILIAD Esports. Hoop Troop, congratulations. Up against ILIAD ARTEMIS. Better luck next time. I've been D'Lo. Joined here in the booth by my friends, the almighty eyes in the sky, Orange and Hippie. Please thank our production for all they do. We could not yell at games without them. A special thanks, as always, to our good friend LA Smurf for giving us the space and platform to do anything here on this channel. And last, but certainly not least, thank you, loyal, obedient viewer, for your time. We hope you've enjoyed these games just as much as we have. Keep an eye to the sky again for that game against Yukikami tomorrow, 9 o'clock, same stream, same peeps. Until then, good games and good night.